Hey guys, welcome back to my channel once again. Kenroy here. Now in today's video I'm going to be doing another DIY project, and this one I promise is going to be super simple. Now all I'll be using is a bit of scrap wood that I've salvaged from my neighbour's junk pile, as well as some bits of scrap decking board that I had left over from a previous DIY project. Now today I'll be making some bookends which I'll be using to actually put on these shelves that you can see behind me right here. Now if you can remember, a little while back I actually made these boards out of scaffolding boards which I bought locally from a supplier. I was able to sand them down, put a stain on them and varnish them before hanging them to the wall with these metal brackets, which I think look really nice. Now if you're interested in this video and you like the way these shelves look, I'll put the link above for you to check it out, as it's definitely well worth it. Now the reality is that if you go online and actually try to buy these shelves yourself, it will cost you excess of £100. However, I was able to do this for far less with a lot more gratification. Now I recently completed another project which basically saw us using a part of our landing which was just empty space, and we actually turned it into a walk-in closet slash storage. I was able to use some of the leftover scaffolding board shelves to affix to the wall, and as such we wanted to use some of these shelves for storage, as we previously got rid of the bookshelf that was taking up so much space. Now one of my reasons for making these bookends is not only to challenge myself and to practice my skill of making stuff and doing different DIY projects, but I actually wanted to save money. Now by using all of these bits of scrap wood that normally would have get thrown away, I was able to save myself a lot of cash. Now like I said, this is a very easy DIY project for anyone to take on. Now the good things about making your own DIY bookends is that you can actually customize them to your own liking, from different colors to add in different decorations, whatever it is. Now I'm hoping that by the end of this DIY project everything will come together nicely. Now if this is your first time visiting my channel guys, I want to say thank you. Thanks for stopping by, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I'm not sure what you're waiting for, but don't worry, I'm giving you another opportunity to do so right now. So please hit that subscribe button as well as that little bell notification, and if you found this video helpful, please just give me a like, as this will really help with pushing this video forward so that many more people can benefit from it. So without any further ado guys, let's get into the video. Now guys, apologies if you hear any background noises. I'm actually next door to the utility. I'm currently in the garage at the moment, and my neighbors are outside doing a bit of DIY stuff themselves, and my washing machine has just finished its cycle. Okay, now that that's out the way, so I've got the scrap wood here which you see me cut to pieces. Now bearing in mind I've never done anything like this before, and it's literally a trial and error. So what I would always advise is to measure twice and cut once, first thing. The second thing is, if you're doing multiple of a particular item, why not try to do one to its completion, at least to a stage where you're very comfortable with, you know, finishing the project. And once you get to that stage, then you can carry on with the others. And I'm not sure if you can see this on camera, but I've actually made some markers as to where I'm thinking about drilling the holes, which will basically allow me to attach this piece of board, which will be the upright piece, to this piece right here. So the idea is for me to actually make this into an L shape, and it's going to be attached with 3 screws, one that's going to be at the bottom and 2 on either side. So a nice clean punch there for the first one, so I'm going to move on to the other 2. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, guys, is using this, which is called a countersink. What this does, it basically makes little holes, little recesses for the screws to actually sit more comfortably and give you a more flush finish, so that at the end of it, the head of the screw won't be actually protruding out of the wood. So this will actually be sitting below the surface of the wood. So that's the plan anyway. So let's see how we get on. Now I'm never really sure as to how deep to actually go with these countersink holes. It's always kind of a trial and error for me. So if you do know what's the best way in which to know how deep to go for these first time round, do let me know in the comments down below. See, we've actually got these holes which have been made a lot bigger. Now I must confess that I made a little bit of an error here, because I should have actually drilled the holes from this side to the next rather than drilling them from this side to the next. So as you can see here, it's made a bit of a chip which doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. However, it's not the end of the world. So top tip, make sure you know which side is going to be your face side, or the side which you'll be seeing, if you don't want stuff like this to happen. Okay guys, so here is the first of 4 of these bookends that have been done in this rough form. Now I know that these don't look particularly nice, but I'm hoping that by the time I'm done decorating them, maybe giving them a lick of paint, they will look much better. Now like I said, these were made from just scrap pieces of wood. They're not going to be perfect. There's lumps and bumps everywhere. You can see a lot of the knots from the wood where it's been cut. But I don't mind that. To me, that's quite attractive. You can see where I've sanded down this bit, and you know, it's given it its own sort of unique character, and I really don't mind that, especially when it will just be sitting on the top of a shelf. You know, no one will really notice some of these things, and all they can see from afar is that it's holding up the book. So I'm happy with how it's holding up so far. So those 3 screws have definitely given it some strength. There's no flex in that whatsoever. Especially for the job that it'll be doing. So 1 down. I think I'm pretty confident enough to do this another 3 times. So let's see how we get on. So now that I've given these a nice sanding, I'm just going to dust them off now and actually apply the varnish. So I'm hoping that will actually come out looking really nice. Like the color of the natural wood, like I said. Now these are rustic, they are not going to be perfect by any stretch. I'm happy with these, and hopefully, like I said, they'll look really nice once they're mounted on our shelves. So the varnish that I'll be using is a Baratine polyurethane varnish. Now don't ask me what's the difference between this and all the other ones on the market, but I did use this one for the last project that I did, which was working on those scaffold board shelves, and I did like the finish. So I'll be using up what I've got left. Now I've got around maybe 2/3 of a tin here, so it does go a long way, but I can recommend this product if you are interested in using it. Now it does look really dark in the tin once you've opened it, but that's because it's so concentrated. Now it will, however, leave a nice hue to the actual finish, so it's not going to dry completely clear. I think there's just ever so slight hint of color shifts, which can be a good thing if that's what you're into, but that's just something to bear in mind. Now it's very important that you actually apply this in very, very thin coats, because if you don't, it will drip and actually get everywhere. And what the varnish does is not only gives it a nice sheen and a nice finish, but it also adds an extra layer of protection to the surface of the wood. Okay, so just like that, the first coat is on. Now it takes up to 12 hours before this is rock solid, and I think you could probably get away with giving it a second coat between 6 to 8 hours. However, sometimes you might even be able to get away with just giving it one coat, depending on the use that you'll be getting out of the particular item. But importantly, between each coat, it's a good idea to actually give it a light sanding before applying the second coat, to hopefully give you a much smoother finish.